Welcome back to the ACL Academy. This is Dr. Kaan, and today I'm going to talk about how to find the right ACL specialist to do your rehab. In a previous video, I talked about finding the right surgeon to do your ACL reconstruction. Today, I will talk about the rehab side and how we find the right guide for our long ACL recovery process. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you like the page, you're getting some good content here, please subscribe, comment below, share it with a friend. We very much appreciate that. So I'm going to get right into it here. You just saw your surgeon. You're out of the OR. Now, how do you get your physical therapy set up? Well, you're already too late. You should have your physical therapist and physical therapy appointment, your first appointment, set up prior to surgery. That is the most important take home today, guys. Have that PT appointment, physio appointment set up before you even enter the OR. So this way you can get that knee moving and going. It's so important and crucial to start physical therapy right away after surgery, either the next day or 2 days after. I've talked to so many people that are told to wait a week, sometimes even 2 weeks, and that really puts you behind the 8 ball. So very important. Have your physical therapist set up. So what does that mean? You have to do your homework and your research early on. So how can you find an ACL specialist? Well, a couple ways. One, you can obviously talk to your surgeon because they're doing your surgery. They may know some good rehab people in the area, and they'll make some recommendations. Two, if you do have a athletic trainer that you do work with at a school or at your university, they're also a good resource, as they, if they are not doing your rehab, can make a good recommendation for a specialist themselves. Three, social media is a great way to find other people that are working with ACL specialists. A couple of avenues that you can look for: Instagram. Obviously, you can check us out at the ACL Academy. Facebook, Reddit pages. These Reddit and Facebook, there are support groups. So if you type in and you search ACL Recovery Group, ACL Club, you will find support groups out there, and you can put a posting and say, hey, I'm looking for a physical therapist. I'm going for ACL surgery. Where can I find one? And you will get a lot of recommendations that way. Now, when you've got your recommendations, just like I've talked about in surgery when looking for the right surgeon, you have to come with your list of questions, because you should be interviewing these rehab people to see who's the best one or best fit for your care. So a couple questions that I like to ask is, well, how long have you been doing this? Number one, just to get some experience. Number two is, what is predominantly the patient population you work with, the client population you work with? So we're not picking a physical therapy place that's just close to our house, because we can get there and they can treat all neurological patients. They can treat all geriatric patients, right? We don't know if they're even seeing any ACL specialists, so ACL patients. So it's important to ask, what is the main population you work with? Then you can get into the ACL side. Is, if you do work with ACLs, well, how many have you worked with in your career? Secondly, how many have you worked with in this past year? So now this will give you some insight, not only across a career span, but also this year, how much and how often they're seeing ACLs, how they're coming through their doors or having conversations with. Three, I would also ask is, well, what graft choices have you used or worked with in rehab? And they can give you an insight there, because let's say if your graft choice was a patella tendon and they mostly work with cadavers or hamstring tendons, well, that also may give you some detail if they even see your particular surgery with your particular graft choice. And it's important because the rehab does vary, and that's stuff that I will get into in another video as well. So you can ask these questions. This will give you some better insight, and kind of tell you what is going on. Now, I also will tell you the rehab world has changed. So you're not only really available to your just local community as far as physical therapist goes, you can find an ACL specialist online, somebody who does this remotely. Here at the ACL Academy, we've been working with ACLers for the past 5 years, and we've been working with people worldwide. I'm based in Long Island, New York, but we have clients in 20 plus countries. With the technology today, we've been guiding people through this process from the day they got injured all the way back to return to sport. And just to give you some insight here, we see close to 70 to 80 ACL clients per year. And in my lifespan, I've seen over 1,000. So this is all that we see, all that we treat. We're very involved with the care, very research-based, evidence-based, and really our goals are to keep you safe and confident. So I hope that helps. Just to recap, guys, who are you going to ask for a rehab specialist? Talk to your surgeon, talk to a local trainer, go to social media groups, support groups on Facebook and Reddit, Instagram, search ACL recovery, ACL specialist. Get a few names out there and then do your interviews. Ask that specialist, do they predominantly see athletes or active people? Do they see a lot of ACLs? How many have they seen in their career? How many have they seen this year alone? Ask them about graft choices and what do they usually see that comes through their door. These are the main questions that I would ask and really get some insight and some detail and have an open mind. Work with somebody not only that has experience, that is a specialist in this field, but also that you make a connection with. Because that's important. It's a long rehab process. You want to make sure that you can trust your therapist, that you can build a rapport with them, and that you feel confident in their guidance with your recovery process. Super important, guys. Thanks for listening along. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends. More videos coming for you soon.